Laughter in the council hall. The Grand Council Hall of the Galactic Union was filled with light, sound, and pride. Delegates from 100 star systems sat on golden platforms, speaking in many languages, translated in real time by glowing drones. It was supposed to be a place of unity. But today, it was full of laughter, cruel, mocking laughter. At the center of the hall, a lone human representative stood. His name was Commander Rain, chosen by Earth to attend the High Galactic meeting. He wore a simple black uniform, clean and sharp, unlike the decorative robes of other species. His face was calm. His hands were still. But his eyes held something deep, something unreadable. Young Earth. A tall, blue-skinned delegate from the Valari Empire said loudly, "Has only just left its cradle, and now it demands a seat among us? How adorable." Another alien, thin and insect-like, tapped its claws on the table and hissed, "Humans are emotional, violent, and unstable. We live for millennia. They barely last 100 years. What can they offer us except chaos?" The laughter grew louder. Some even clapped. Commander Rain didn't speak. He let the storm of insults pass over him like a quiet tide. Behind his back, his fingers tapped a small rhythm, slow, steady, like a code. A few species stayed silent. The Volari, the Yaru, and the stone-skinned Bran. They didn't laugh. They watched. "Let's vote," shouted a delegate from the Miran Alliance. "Shall we allow this child world into our ancient circle?" The vote began. Lights flashed above each seat, red for no, green for yes. Only 9 greens, 90-1 reds. The council was clear. Rejection. Earth would not be accepted. The laughter returned, louder now, more confident. Commander Rain slowly stepped forward, his boots echoing across the glass floor. He stopped in the center and looked up. The light caught his face, expressionless but intense. When he finally spoke, his voice was calm, deep, and carried a strange silence with it. "We came here in peace," he said. "We came with respect, but now I see clearly." He paused, letting the silence fall heavy. "You think time gives you strength. You think age gives you power. But we are not what you think." Murmurs rose. A few delegates frowned. Commander Rain tapped a small device on his wrist. It beeped once. Far above the council hall, in high orbit, a massive human ship uncloaked. The Vanguard. A ship with dark armor, strange energy readings, and no known classification. The galactic defense sensors struggled to scan it. Some failed completely. Inside the council hall, alerts began to flash. Technicians whispered. Panic started to bloom. Commander Rain looked up. "You laughed," he said softly. "Now you watch." A hologram appeared above the hall, a live feed from the Vanguard. It showed an alien probe floating near Earth's moon. Then, a silent beam of energy sliced through it like paper. No explosion. Just dust. Another feed began, this time from the border of the Valari Empire. One of their outposts was simply gone. No blast, no warning. Just erased from space. The laughter had stopped. Completely. No one spoke. No one moved. Rain's voice echoed again. "This is not a threat. It is a fact. You crossed the line. You insulted Earth, but worse, you showed your hearts. So now we show you ours." He turned to leave, his steps slow, calm. One delegate called out, "You will regret this arrogance, human." Rain didn't stop, but he did reply. "No," he said, "you will." The doors opened. He walked out. Behind him, silence hung in the air like smoke. Above them, Vanguard remained still. But awake. And across the galaxy, Earth's other ships began to move. Quietly. Precisely. Like the beginning of something no one could stop. Asterisk, a forbidden scan. In the cold dark of space, far from the council hall, a small stealth drone floated. Silently, it belonged to the Niral Syndicate, an old empire known for espionage and deep scans. After Earth's shocking show of force, the Syndicate grew nervous. They wanted answers. Their drone, covered in black crystal plating, moved close to Earth's defense ring. It was invisible to most sensors. It had scanned hundreds of planets before, but Earth was different. The drone sent out a quiet pulse, harmless, just a scan. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then everything did. A wave of light hit. The drone like a hammer. Its systems blinked. Its memory began to melt. One by one, its parts froze, sensors shattered, and code collapsed. Then, silence. On the Niral command bridge, technicians stared at dead screens. "It's gone," one whispered. "Not destroyed, not damaged, just wiped." The commander frowned. "No weapons fire?" "None." He stared at the frozen image on the screen, just a blank shot of stars. "Send a scout team," he ordered. "I want that location checked." The scout ship arrived at Earth's outer system 5 hours later. They didn't send a message back. They never returned. Back at the council, quiet panic was growing. Species who once laughed at Earth now met in secret. Rumors spread like fire. Earth has weapons we don't understand. Their ship wasn't military, it was a message. They're not asking for power, they're warning us. The Velari Empire, still angry from their insult, decided to act next. They believed Earth was bluffing. Their warlord, High Marshal Reth, chose a bold move. He sent a fleet near Earth's neutral border just to monitor, they claimed. But inside that fleet was a Predator-class attack cruiser, fully armed Dot, and following that cruiser was a civilian human science vessel Small, unarmed, returning from a medical relief mission. The Velari commander had orders: force a confrontation. Push Earth, make them blink. He followed those orders. He didn't realize was that this act would change everything. The attack cruiser fired one warning shot across the small ship's path. The humans sent a reply: "We are unarmed. We are peaceful. Please cease fire." The Velari commander laughed. He fired again. This time, he clipped the ship's wing. Alarms sounded inside the human vessel. Crew scrambled. Medics rushed to injured passengers. A child cried in the corner of a smoke-filled hallway. Then, in the distance, space shifted. A ripple in the stars. The Vanguard arrived. Silently. No lights. No message. It hovered like a shadow. That did not belong. Inside the Velari ship, warning sirens screamed. Unknown energy signature. Power readings off the charts. We're being watched. The Velari commander tried to speak, but his voice cracked. The Vanguard didn't fire. It didn't need to. Instead, it transmitted a single image to every ship in that fleet. A picture of Earth. Underneath, just 3 words: last warning given. And then the Vanguard vanished. No trace. Just gone. Like a ghost. Later that day, the Velari cruiser's systems began to fail one by one. Lights dimmed. Air grew cold. Engines froze. The crew tried to flee in escape pods. None launched. By morning, the entire fleet had disappeared from the star map. Nothing remained. No fire. No battle. No wreckage. Just absence. And the human science ship? It returned safely. Not a scratch. The galaxy trembled. Earth never sent a message, but the message had been heard loud and clear. Asterisk. The line they shouldn't cross. In a far sector of the galaxy, the Velari warlord, High Marshal Reth, sat in silence. His fleet, his pride, had vanished. No wreckage. No cries, just nothing. He stared at the empty screen. Earth has declared war, one of his advisors said. No, Reth growled. They haven't. That's the problem. He was right. Earth hadn't spoken. No declarations. No demands. Just silence and precision. But silence from Earth was more terrifying than any weapon. The Council knew this now. And yet, someone still dared to push further. The Core Dominion, an empire known for its brutality, had watched everything with cold interest. They believed Earth was bluffing, that their fleet tricks were illusions, that fear was their only weapon. So they decided to test it. They sent a small strike force to the edge of Earth's colony space, far from the core worlds, near a mining moon called Orion 7. The colony there was small. Miners, families, no weapons, no shields. The core strike force landed without warning. No transmissions. No negotiations. They attacked. Within 1 hour, the colony was in flames. The core commander sent a short message to Earth. Your young world bleeds. You are not gods. You are prey. He smiled as he sent it, but his smile did not last. Back on Earth, in a quiet chamber beneath the United Terran Defense Headquarters, a red light blinked. One word flashed across the main screen. Protocol Ignite. Within minutes, every human fleet in deep space received new orders. No more warnings. No more restraint. This time. Response. Swift. Absolute. Final. Above Orion 7. The sky tore open. A rift. A silent, glowing hole in space. From it descended a ship. Unlike any seen before. It was larger than the Vanguard. Sleeker. Darker. Its surface shimmered like oil over steel. It had no name, only a call sign. Judgment 01. The core soldiers looked up and froze. Their sensors died. Their weapons jammed. Ships refused to lift off. Then came the sound so low it could only be felt in bones. A deep hum, like the growl of a sleeping beast. And then, white light. Pure. Silent. Unstoppable. The entire core strike force vanished. Not burned. Not crushed. Unmade. And yet the colony remained untouched. No buildings harmed. No civilians injured. Only the invaders removed. The Judgment 01 turned slowly, scanning the stars, then disappeared back into the rift it came from. A few hours later, a message was sent across the Galactic Union. It wasn't from Earth's diplomats. It wasn't from any government. It came from an AI, cold, clear, calculated. You crossed the line. Now you will understand why we never wanted this war. Message ended with a single visual Earth's map of the galaxy. On it, red dots appeared, each one a location of a Terran stealth fleet. There were hundreds. Hidden. Watching. Prepared. The Council panicked. They realized what they had done. Earth was no longer asking for respect. They were done asking. Now they were answering, and the galaxy finally understood. Humanity had always been quiet, not because they were weak, but because they were patient. Now that patience had run out. Wrath from the shadows. The galaxy had changed overnight. No one spoke Earth's name lightly anymore. Delegates whispered in corners. Empires reviewed their defenses. And yet, Earth said nothing. But things were happening. Quietly. In the shadows. It began on the planet Travos 9, deep in the territory of the Myron Alliance. The planet was home to one of the galaxy's largest weapon factories. It had never been touched by war. Until now. One morning, the workers arrived. The gates were gone. The defense turrets melted. Inside. The entire factory was destroyed with surgical precision. Not a single life lost, but every weapon, every ship part, every AI module turned to ash. Security footage showed nothing. Just a shadow passing across the floor. And then static. The Council called it sabotage. Earth did not respond. Then came The incident on Kalaris Station, the central communications hub of 6 empires. It was considered untouchable, buried inside an asteroid and protected by planetary shields. But on a cold cycle morning, all communication went dark. Technicians arrived to investigate. Inside, they found no signs of attack. The systems were undamaged, but the message core, the heart of the station, was missing. Not stolen, not broken. Just gone. In its place, a single human coin. Polished. Perfect. Shining under the emergency lights. On its surface, the Earth emblem. No words. Just presence. Across the stars. Other strange events followed. A War Council meeting on Zentha Prime ended in panic when all screens lit up with Earth's flag for exactly 7 seconds, then went black. A shipyard in the Trell Empire found its latest warship dismantled overnight, with every part stacked neatly on the landing pad. A senator who publicly mocked Earth vanished mid-speech. All cameras glitched for 1 second. He was never found. The galaxy was no longer laughing. They were watching and fearing. The real fear came when the Velari High Marshal, Reth, who started it all, received a package on his personal warship. No ships were near him. No humans in range. Still, the package arrived in his private chamber. He opened it. Inside was a small cube. It activated on its own. Hologram appeared, grainy, blue, human. Commander Rayn. Calm. Silent. Looking directly at him. He said just one line. "This is your only visit. There won't be another." The cube melted into smoke. Reth stood frozen. For the first time in his life, the warlord felt something he had never known before. Fear. Not of death, but of an enemy he could not see. Could not stop, could not even reach. Back on Earth, the leaders sat in silence too. They didn't smile. They didn't celebrate. The president simply nodded. Let them feel it, one by one, quietly. And so, Earth's wrath continued, not with fire, but with precision, like a blade in the dark. No shouting. No warnings. Just disappearance. Correction. Control. In the past, humanity was ignored. Now, humanity didn't need to be loud. They were everywhere and nowhere. The galaxy began to understand. They had awakened the wrath of the species born on a war. Deathworld. And Deathworlders didn't shout. They acted. Asterisk. Proof of power. The council was restless. There, private chambers buzzed with hushed voices and trembling claws. Reports from across the galaxy had one thing in common: unknown human action suspected. But no one had proof, and Earth had not claimed responsibility for anything. Until now. The message arrived at midnight cycle. Encrypted. Unmarked. It appeared simultaneously on every major government channel across the galaxy. Presidents, kings, warlords, and high priests, everyone received it at the exact same second. The message was short. A calm male voice. Human. Clear. We will now give you proof. Watch closely. The feed opened. A video began. It showed the Velari border incident. Full footage. Multiple angles. High resolution. It showed the unprovoked attack on the human research vessel. It showed civilian injuries. It showed the core Dominion landing on Orion 7. Their soldiers burning habitats, terrifying families. Then it showed Earth's response. Arrival of Vanguard. The arrival of Judgment -01. And the removal of the enemy fleets fast. Clean and final. No violence toward civilians. No wasted energy. Just execution-level precision. The video ended. Black screen. Then a final text line appeared. We watched. We warned. You crossed the line. This is what followed. The feed shut down. No signature. No reply option. Just silence. Across the galaxy, leaders stared at their dark screens. No one moved. No one dared speak. The truth was now public. Earth wasn't. Bluffing. Earth was watching. and Earth had done the impossible, defeated fleets, erased invasions, sent messages through uncrackable defenses, all without starting a war. It was not war, it was correction. The council called an emergency meeting the next cycle. Every seat was full. No one laughed this time. The human representative didn't attend. Instead, in the center of the council hall, a black sphere hovered. It blinked once, and a voice echoed, the same voice from the broadcast. Human.com. We still want peace. But now, we will set the terms. Shocked silence followed. Some delegates looked around, as if expecting a joke, but it wasn't. A soft chime rang out. Suddenly, the moon of Yerez 6, a council member world, appeared live on screen. It showed the moon floating peacefully. Then, a beam of invisible energy sliced it. Perfectly. From space to core. The moon didn't explode. It separated cleanly into two halves and floated apart like a peeled fruit. No debris. No shockwave. Just division. Everyone in the council hall stared. In horror. No one knew how Earth did it. No weapon was visible. No ship was nearby. The screen went black. The voice returned. We do not want destruction, but we will not be mocked again. The line has been drawn. You crossed it. That is your legacy. Our legacy begins now. Then the sphere disappeared. Gone. Like it was never there. Across the stars, panic set in. All fleets were grounded. All war exercises canceled. All jokes about young Earth vanished from media streams overnight. Galactic cultures updated their political texts. One entry spread like fire. Earth, status changed from developing species to strategic superthreat. Avoid provocation. Meanwhile, on Earth, no one celebrated. The Terran president walked quietly in a garden outside the defense tower. A child approached her, curious, unaware. Did we win? The child asked. She paused, looked at the stars. Then replied softly, no, we just proved we were never losing. The pact of silence. The council hall was never truly silent, not until now. Since the slicing of the Yerez 6 moon, no delegate had spoken Earth's name out loud. Instead, they called it the shadow voice. Or, in some languages, simply, the unseen one. Whispers moved faster than light, and behind closed doors, the galaxy changed. On a small neutral moon called Garela, leaders from 7 empires met in secret. They wore plain robes, no flags, no symbols. Only fear united them. The Brand Chancellor, known for his stone skin and calm nature, finally broke the silence. We were wrong, he said. We treated Earth like children. The others nodded. The Valari matron added, children don't cut moons in half. They all agreed. And then came the question none of them wanted to ask. What now? Do they attack? Hide? Beg? After hours of quiet debate, they decided on something strange. A pact. Not a treaty. Not an alliance. Just a silence. They would not provoke Earth again. They would remove anti-human language from broadcasts. They would recall any spy ships near Earth's zone. And in return, they hoped Earth would not look their way again. They called it the Pact of Silence. The document was signed in invisible ink and burned after it was copied once. No celebration. No handshakes. Just fear, hidden behind careful smiles. But while some chose silence, others chose revenge. On the far edge of the galaxy, within the ice rings of planet Vornak, a different kind of meeting took place. This one was darker. Inside a fortress made of black steel sat a group called the Purifiers, an unofficial alliance of species who believed Earth must be stopped before it grew further. Earth is dangerous, one hissed. They are too fast, too smart, too silent. Another shouted, we have ruled the stars for 10,000 years. Now a death worlder tells, you swear to look, and when to speak. They slammed the table. We must strike. But how? Someone asked. They see everything. The answer came from a hooded figure at the end of the table. His voice was deep and slow. We blind them. Everyone looked at him. He continued. We cannot outfight Earth. But if we cut off their sight, break their silent eyes, then maybe, just maybe, we get one clean shot. And so they began Project Eclipse. The goal. Destroy Earth's spy satellites and launch a fake peace convoy carrying a bomb hidden in medical supplies. The plan was risky. Bold. Suicidal, even. But they believed it was their only chance. Back on Earth, in the underground command center, Commander Rain stood in front of a wall of star maps. He watched as a strange ship moved through neutral space. No weapons. No threats. Just too quiet. His AI assistant spoke. Sir, we've detected a possible decoy pattern. The convoy's route mirrors old human relief missions. Rain nodded slowly. They think we won't notice, he said. He turned to the comms officer. Activate. The black eyes. Moments later, across the galaxy, 37 hidden Terran satellites powered on, each equipped with cloaked tracking arrays, and they all turned toward the fake peace convoy. Rain whispered. They signed a pact of silence. But they still whisper death. He walked away, voice calm. Prepare Judgment 02. And then, for the first time in days, he smiled. A small, cold smile. The galaxy had tried fear, then silence, now betrayal. And soon, they would remember something far worse. Earth doesn't speak. Twice. Asterisk. The age of Earth begins in the dark reaches of Sector 41X. The fake peace convoy moved silently through space. Its signal was pure. Its papers, flawless. Its exterior marked with universal symbols of peace and aid. Inside, however, was a hidden core, a singularity device, not a bomb. A collapse engine. If detonated near Earth, it would fold space inwards and take half the solar system with it. The galaxy's oldest trick, a gift box with poison inside. But Earth was no longer young, and this time they were watching. Far away, deep beneath Earth's northern hemisphere, inside a command station named Cold Star. Commander Rain stood before a screen showing the convoy's path. The satellites had confirmed. The peace ship wasn't peaceful. Rain turned to his team. It's time. One word was spoken. One command. Release the black silence. Out in space, above the convoy, the stars shimmered. A shadow broke away from the darkness. Judgment 02. Earth's second silent warship. Uncloaked, sleek, silent, unseen until now. It didn't hail. It didn't broadcast. Simply opened fire once. A single pulse, invisible to the eye, tore through the convoy's core. There was no explosion. Just disappearance. The entire ship collapsed into itself like a whisper vanishing from the air. Nothing remained. No signal. No wreckage. Silence. But Earth didn't stop there. This time. They spoke. Across the galaxy, Earth sent its first open broadcast in weeks. It was not a threat. It was a declaration. A young woman, wearing a Terran emblem, appeared on every screen in every language. Her voice was calm, her words slow. To those who planned war under the mask of peace, this is your warning. Your time of dominance has ended. To those who stayed neutral, who respected silence, our hand remains open. We do not seek to rule, but we will never kneel. Again, Earth is not a child among stars. We are the storm that waited, and the tide that never retreats. She paused. Then added softly, the age of Earth begins now. And then she was gone. The stars felt colder. In the days that followed. A quiet revolution swept across the galaxy. Alien news channels debated the rise of humanity. Some feared it. Others called it necessary. Many simply watched, Unsure of what would come next, the council reformed its core structure. The chair, once reserved for the oldest empire, was removed in its place. A new emblem was carved, a blue and white globe. Earth, the human seat, was empty but reserved, because the message had been received: Earth doesn't need to sit in power. To hold it, and far away, on a quiet Terran colony called Nova Eden, a young alien girl held her father's hand. "Father," she asked, "why do we listen when Earth speaks?" Her father looked up at the sky, where a human patrol ship passed. Quietly, he answered, "Because when they were ignored, they waited. When they were mocked, they remembered. But when they stood, the galaxy changed. And so it did forever. Asterisk.